Okay guys, so back in Blender we have this beautiful model. In this part we are going to apply some textures to the seat and the back piece, which is this one, the part where you put your back against. So first of all we want to texture this part. So we go ahead to this piece, it's a seat, we go to modifiers tab, and we see three modifiers being applied to this model. So first of all, we are going to take care of the lattice modifier, which basically bends our otherwise straight shape to this fancy looking stuff. I think it looks with the lattice modifier, it looks very good. So I kind of sound like a Trump, but whatever. We have this beautiful look, so we go ahead and click apply on the lattice modifier. We do just that. It already applied. Then we go to mirror, and we in options menu you have three checkboxes. We click clipping, and what that does is if you were trying to, for example, disable this modifier, you can see it's only a half model. So for those of you who didn't watch the previous tutorials, what the clipping option does is when you hit it, and let's switch it back on, when you, for example, in the edit mode, and you try to, let's say, take these vertices and move them on the x-axis, the mirror is being applied, the mirror modifier is being applied on the x-axis, so it shouldn't be able, so those vertices shouldn't be able to move in the x direction, such as this. They will although move in this and that direction, but what this clipping does, it actually prevents you from creating this strangely looking split model. We don't want that, so we hit clipping. Let me go to first of all, let me go and go back with this modifier. We don't want anything modified with that. Modified with modifier, that's an inception, but whatever. Okay, options, we click, we check the clipping checkbox, and I think it looks good. We go ahead and click up. Oh, we are in the edit mode, so in the edit mode you cannot apply any modifier for at least the ones I know. So we go back out of the edit mode, we click apply, and now we have this subsurf modifier that's left. We go ahead and click apply, and now we should, when we go to edit mode, we should have this beautiful looking chair. So in order to apply some textures on that model and later on export them with the model, export them to JSON format, we need to first of all we need to create a seam. What a seam is I'm going to show you in just a second. So we expand that window, we expand that one in half, we split it in half. In this one we want to see UV image editor. In this one, well, let's switch it to oh my god, that's not the one. Let's switch it to wireframe mode. Okay, so back in wireframe mode, when we use perspective, you probably notice that if we zoom in a bit further, the mesh is being cut in half, or it's being split. So in order to prevent that from happening, we go ahead and click numpad 5. I'm gonna turn the screencast key so you see what I'm clicking. So now we switch back into perspective and orthographic mode. So we want to stay in the orthographic mode. We want to click Control Tab to switch the mesh select mode to edge, and with that selected, we can go down and select this edge. See, no, it won't let me see it. So, but we want to this edge. Let me go and click Shift Space. And I don't want to see any back faces and back edges, so this should be good. In the orthographic mode, we hit 1 on the numpad keyboard to toggle the front view. We zoom in a little to the center of our stage, and we select these edges like so, with the shift button pressed. Okay, so we now selected this, and previously I told you we were going to make a seam. And what seam is when we click T and we have this transform panel, we go to shading and UVs, and in the down menu you can see UVs and UV mapping. When we hit mark seam, it will let us later on, when we are back in the UV image editor mode, it will let us it will basically let us it will let us kind of disconnect this model, but not the way but not in the way that you think. It lets us split the model into separate views. Why don't we go ahead and do just that, so you know what I mean. We switch back by hitting Control Tab. We switch back to faces selection mode. So with that selected, we can see after clicking A, we can still see our seam. But when in orthographic mode we press 1 on the numpad, we see the front of the mesh. We hit 7 on the numpad, so we see the top of the mesh, and we click this and this face. And by clicking Control and plus on the numpad, or plus wherever you have it on your keyboard, we can grow the selection. And what that does is check it out. It's selecting all the connected faces to previously selected faces. The process like that isn't the best, isn't the greatest one, but because it lets the selector, or the selecting mode, it lets it select those faces. We Control Z to back that up. It lets us select those faces which we don't want to be selected. So we, with the Shift and Alt key, we deselect those faces. So the only thing we're left with is this top faces selected. So we go ahead and click that. I think that's it. Let's look at our mesh. I think it looks good. Let me zoom in a little. And we marked the seam because we wanted to get to know when selecting, get to know when to stop selecting. So basically we have only this top portion of the mesh selected, not the middle and the bottom one. So with that selected, I think we're good to go ahead and create our first UV unwrap. So let's go ahead and click 7 on the numpad. It takes us in the orthographic mode still. It takes us to the top view. In the top view, the only thing we want to do is to hit U, project from view, and we have this beautiful seat selected. After clicking A, nothing is shown on this UV image editor, but don't worry. The selection, if we select all the model, we can see the whole mesh. We can see that the seat is still there, so don't worry about it. If it will disappear from your eyes for a second, don't worry about that. A bit. Okay, let's go. We basically created this top view, so we want to do the bottom and the side view. We wanted project those views into the UV image editor. So let's go ahead and do just that. We hit 7 on the numpad key. It takes us to the top view, but the button that takes you to the opposite view you've just selected is the number 9 on the numpad keys. So it took us to the bottom view, if you wish. We select the middle rail, so we don't want to see it. when we are selecting our face. Let's go into the edit mode. Let's hit this and that face, Control plus, and let's expand that selection. I think it looks good. And again, in perspective mode or in orthographic mode, I prefer orthographic mode because it doesn't cut my model in half as seen before. We have the faces selected, but the bottom face is selected, so snap onto itself. No, that's not the one I want. Let me go back, and this one, because in this one we have a wireframe preview. We don't want that. We want a solid preview in order to get around with this mesh. So we zoom, shift space, once again we zoom in and we see the seam going through this edge. So those and we want to select the bottom part of the seat. So those faces are unwanted, so to speak. So we go ahead and select these with Shift Alt keys pressed, and we should be left with let me check it again. We should be left with this bottom portion of our mesh selected. I think it looks good. I'm gonna check on this side one more time, because it doesn't look, no, it's good. Okay, so with the bottom part selected, we go on the numpad key, we go to 7 to the top view, 9 to actually do the to switch the view to the opposite, and with that selected, we can go back to previous view, and we can project this this bottom view onto our UV image editor. So let's go ahead and do just that. We hit U, project from view, and that's it, guys. Okay, so what we're left with is this part. So is the middle, like so to speak, like the insides of the mesh, or maybe not. Well, whatever, call it whatever you want. Let us with that unselected, we go to select face mode. Yes, this, each one of them to the end of the seam, which should be, oh, something went wrong. Sorry about that, folks. Okay, we want to see if the seam is reached already. It is not. There are still, how many there are left? Oh, that's looking strange, but whatever. We're gonna get along with that as well. Back that operation. And select this one. So it should be all fine and dandy, and snap it. Look, we didn't deselect the bottom view, so we're gonna go ahead and select it one more time. I hope this time it'll work. So we want to select this, each one of them within the boundaries of our seams. So it looks good. I don't even want to check it one more time if it's selected. It should be selected properly. So guys, you want to go ahead and click U, and this time we are not going to use the project from view option. We're going to use cylinder projection. And what that does, if we, for example, were to project from view, you already know what's going to happen. This looks, we don't want that for sure. If we were to unwrap it from, like a simple unwrap, look what it does. That doesn't help us at all. So we want to avoid that kind of situation going on. So we click, we hit Control Z to back that operation. And what we want to do is to unwrap and cylinder projection. And what it does, it basically will take our mesh or selected faces and project them on the cylinder. So imagine if you have a cylinder just in that center of this mesh, and you want to project those faces on this cylinder. It's still gonna be it's still gonna look like like wavy sort of stuff, but it's gonna look way more better than the previous option I showed you. So let's go ahead and do just that. Let's click U, cylinder projection, and you can see this thing being created on our UV image editor window. But you know, guys, it's way more better than the stuff we had previously when I was showing you this stuff. So okay, so now we have this middle part, bottom faces and top faces projected onto our UV image editor, and we want to go ahead to the orthographic view or perspective view, doesn't matter right now, and we want to hit A. So we want to deselect and select all of them. Now we can see all of the faces we projected are still in the UV image editor. So when I told you don't worry, you shouldn't worry. If you did, you know, guys, don't do that. You want to avoid, you know, having a gray hair or whatnot. Okay, so when we go to UV image editor, the top and the bottom projections look kind of good. What we want to do is just click Control and Tab, and we want to select Island. And with Island selected, we can go ahead and, you know, move them around. This is the top piece. That's the bottom piece. To move them around, I click G, so you are able to move them around like that easily. When it comes to the scale of those projected faces or projected UVs, don't worry about it right now. What we want to correct is this piece, this middle piece, which looks totally awkward. You know, but it looks better than the previous versions I tried to show you. So anyways, okay guys, so with vertex selected, UV select mode vertex, we want to go ahead and click this one, but it only selected this one vertex, and we want to select all of them along the line, like sort of some kind of a loop option. So we go ahead and click A to deselect them all, Shift Alt, and now when we click, we select all the line going from this end to the other end. So with that selected, with those vertices selected, we go ahead and click S, which is a scale option, but it's kind of a trick in Blender, because scale basically, you know, it normally in Blender it only scales the mesh up or down. It doesn't do anything more than that, so to speak. But if you hit S and you will, for that scale modifier, because it's a modifier, if you will provide the axis on which if you will provide axis on which the scale modifier should work on, it will work only on those vertices and only on this axis. So for example, if we had hit Y and hit 0, you can see that those vertices are put on a straight line, and that's what we basically want to achieve. So we click Enter to apply that modifier, and we do the rest of those models like that. Just remember, guys, when you select the next edge selection loop, or call it whatever you want, make sure you hit A to deselect these ones. Because if you won't, they will all, you know, come down to this Y, to this point on the Y-axis, where you won't be able to, you know, distinguish each one of them. So they will kind of converge on themselves, and we want to avoid that. So we deselected that previous edge. We hit this one, scale Y 0. Let's go A to deselect. Scale Y 0, enter, and we do the rest with them the same way as I did with the previous 3 or 4 of them. So let's go ahead and deselect, scale Y 0, enter, all, scale Y 0, enter, all, scale Y 0, enter, all, Okay guys, so I did just that, and you can see we have a straight looking line. What's left with this you know, UV unwrap to do is, if you guys have time, which I not necessarily have, but you can go ahead and apply the same technique to, you know, aligning those vertices, these vertices on the x-axis, so they, you know, they represent they lay on the y-axis line, not parallel to it, but, you know, straight. They lay on that line. That's it. That's all you need to know, guys. Okay, 0, enter, deselect, scale, select these, SX, 0, enter. And you can do it like that for the rest of them. I ain't gonna go too much into that. You know how this procedure goes. If for better performance models, for better looking vertices, better looking texture on those vertices, after we export that UV unwrap to PNG file, and then edit it in let's say Photoshop or GIMP. I don't know what they call it. It only reminds me about one guy from Pulp Fiction, and that's a not good position to be in, guys. Okay, anyways, with those faces, I'm gonna, because I saw some overlapping of the vertices, so I'm gonna go ahead and to this one, and, you know, select all of them, scale X, 0, enter, so I'm sure they don't, you know, kind of overlap on themselves. Guys, you know what, we actually gonna go ahead and correct those mistakes. SX 0 all B, SX 0 all B, SX 0 all B, SX 0. And again, guys, I told you I'm not going to do it. I'm doing it. If you don't like that kind of stuff, if you feel annoyed by it, just let me know in the comment section below. If I will give a crap about them, I will give a crap about them. If I won't, don't be mad. I'm just trying to teach you some nice looking, nice technique to create this beautiful product showcase, product configurator, call it whatever you want. Basically, you will be able to change the texture on the model in real time without using any Flash options, without using any Unity engines or whatnot, just using the basic straightforward WebGL with some JavaScript going on to it, and we only thing you need is a basic knowledge of HTML language. So and even if you don't know that one, and even if you don't know JavaScript, I'm gonna walk you through step by step, so don't worry, you will never feel lost in this tutorial. I hope so. Again, guys, while I'm doing this, I'm gonna, you know, talk stupid stuff, so don't pay attention to that. I may start talking to myself, so, you know, guys, don't think I'm kind of some kind of a freak. But I get bored, so, you know, what's a man gonna do when he's bored? He talks to himself, right? No? Well, okay. And again, if you like these videos, if you like my tutorials, go ahead, guys, and please click that subscribe button, click that like button. If you don't like this video, or you think it's too long, because it is, click don't like, not like, I don't know what's I wanted to check it on YouTube. What is that button called? You can click, you know, the thumbs down button, but I strongly advise you not to, because you love this channel, don't you? I know it. I know you know it. I know you love this channel. I know you will love the content shared on it. I will try to, you know, as time allows me, because right now I'm kind of you know, working 3 jobs at the same time. So I'm helping my friend to a good friend of mine. I'm helping him to start a new company. He already has one, but he wanted to, you know, invest some earned money. he wanted to invest them in some new projects, so I'm helping him with that. It's a web store. We kind of have to deal with accepting payments on the web page. Nothing that complicated, but I promised him I will help him to do it. He always shared that vision with me, shared that idea with me, so I decided to help him to the best knowledge I have. So he can start a new venture in this life. It's kind of exciting for him, and it's kind of exciting for me. I don't learn that much of new stuff when I'm at his place. So basically I have time to think about these tutorials of mine, which are I think great. They will be great. I'm thinking about new ways to showcase to you guys the easiest way possible, so you don't get lost using some web applications, programs, and stuff like that. You guys, if you want some tutorial to be prepared for you, if you have any like specific topic or whatnot, just go ahead and leave the comment in the section below. I will try to explain that topic to you. What's the field of my expertise? Well, man, I don't know what's the field of my expertise. You ask anything. I'm a kind of person that learns quick. So for example, if you will ask me to, hey Tom, show us how to freaking, I don't know, animate some model in Blender or whatnot. That thing, you see, I don't know, but I will learn it in like give me a day or two. I will learn that stuff, and I will explain it to you, in a layman's terms. What do you call it? I don't know. If there's some English guy listening to it, please correct me if I'm wrong. I know I make a lot of mistakes with my language. I try to be as correct as I possibly can. But English isn't my like a primary language. My primary language is Polish. You might ask why I don't do tutorials in Polish. Well, I think for the same reason that a lot of you don't do tutorials in your language, for example, let's say Dutch or German, because there's not that wide of an audience as it is with native English speakers, listeners, or English speaking people. So my goal is to hit the biggest audience on the YouTube possible. So guys, if there is anyone from you listening to it right now from Poland, I say hi to you. If you have any question, you can ask in Polish, you can ask in German, but make it short, make the message short, because I'm using the Google Translate. I'm not that good in German. You can ask me in Polish, German, English, of course. You can ask me all sorts of questions, just not about the personal life. Okay, so as I think finishing editing those vertices, straightening them up. I hope so. Where am I? Yeah, I'm at the end. You see, guys, I talked you through it, so that's good. That's good on me. Okay, guys. So anyways, if you have any requests for future videos, for future tutorials, just go ahead, leave me a comment in the comment section below. You can always visit my web page, which is provided in each description of my video, videos, whatever. And you can go to my Google Plus page. There's not that much on it as of now, but there will be, trust me. You can go to my Facebook fan page. You can go to my do I have an Instagram? I think I do have an Instagram, but anyways, you can go to my Instagram. I don't know what to share on Instagram. I don't know what web developers can share on Instagram. You know, web developing isn't that interesting as seeing, you know, ripped off guy with a few beers and a few girls around him. But anyways, that's the platform being used by nowadays web developers. So I'm gonna jump into it. Okay, guys, we go to UV select mode. We go ahead to island select. We select this one. We want to kind of scale it up on the y axis because you know, this image will be exported to PNG file with 124 pixels per 1024 pixels. So it's not going to be that big, and this one little smudge could end up looking like a smudge in real life. So we want to avoid that, and we hit scale Y because we want to scale on the Y axis, and we kind of stretch this one like so. Okay, we want to hit R and 90 to rotate it, and it's kind of you know, going out of the boundaries. So we want to scale this whole thing a little bit down. If you want to scale using a small factors, you can always press shift and you know, drag that arrow along. What it will do, it will let you scale it by small numbers, opposite to when I'm not holding the shift button, which scales it like crazy. So we want to avoid that. We want to just we want that UV unwrap just to fit on our image. So we hit G, we move it somewhere over here. It doesn't matter where you move it. Okay, we hit the top view. Remember, that's the top view. That's the top view, and the bottom view. That's the top view. That's the bottom view. Okay, let's go ahead. Click G. We want to scale it down, the hell down. It's way too big. Okay, G. And first of all, folks, you might do something like that and be done with it. Scale. Kind of you know, put them on the within the boundaries of that future image file and be done with it. But I want to keep I like to keep things clear. So what I want to do is kind of scale this one to kind of the same dimensions as this one. So you know, I don't have any you know, wood looking texture you know, looking bigger or looking oversized on the top view, on the bottom view, and you know, the smaller texture compression on this one. So I want to kind of equalize their dimensions, and how I do that. First of all, if you will notice, if I will drag this above the top UV unwrap, you can see something is not wrong. It's because this one is rotated 180 degrees. So the top is bottom and the bottom is top, and we want to avoid that. We hit R 180. And right now, if you scale this down, it kind of literally looks like the top one, but let's not forget, it's not the top one. Okay, guys, so we go ahead, zoom a little bit, and we want to you know, align this unwrap with the top one. So what we do is we go ahead and to this window over here, this option window over here, and we hit snap UV element to vertex, and we turn on the magnet tool, and when hitting G and trying to snap it, you can see it snaps to the vertices, and it already looks good. So we're gonna leave it just like that. We switch off that option, we scale it down just a little bit, and we hit G, Y. Okay, guys, I had a little disturbance over here, but it's already sorted out. Okay, so we have this those two UV unwraps with the side one with the, you know, like the inner I don't know, this part over here, this one. So okay, having that done, we go to UV, export UV layout, and we're gonna name it the chair bottom UVs. UV, okay, whatever, it's good. Okay, so with that done, we hit export UV layout. And we have it done. So guys, let me go ahead and to the folder and show you what I mean by we have it done. Hold on a second. Okay, so resources, oh, that's not the one. Tutorials 2, I guess 2, and yes, the episode 3 of 2 of the second chapter, oh, whatever guys. Okay, so we have chair bottom UVs, and look at that. What's going on? What's going on? Oh, you didn't know which program to open it with. So okay guys, this one is this one. It doesn't look great, doesn't look, you know, anything special or whatnot, but that's the UV layout. So what we need to do right now is to go to head to some graphic software like Blender or whatever, and we wanna apply some textures to it. I already downloaded some textures, so let me show you guys what I mean by textures. I will provide that in the link below. I have these textures, so I want to use these as a seat in my chair. So what we are going to do right now is we're gonna close this one. Chair bottom UVs. I have I think I have Photoshop open with. What? I don't have Photoshop? That's not good, guys. But I know I do have Photoshop, so what's going on? Let me see. Oh yeah, there it is. Let's wait till it you know, fires up, and we'll go ahead from there. Alright guys, so with Photoshop opened, we go ahead to our folder, tutorial folder, and we want to drag this one onto Photoshop. It should open if it works correctly, which I think it is. Okay, let me just sit properly on the chair, on my own real chair. Okay, so we have that UV unwrap in Photoshop. What we want to do right now is to drag this layer onto it, so it looks kind of like that. Now remember guys, this texture is a lot bigger than 1024 pixels per 1024 pixels. So we want to go ahead and rotate it, change the opacity of it, drag it along so we cover beautifully this. We can stretch it or whatnot. We can actually, we want to do something like this. So we have that one. We're gonna go drag this one to the, you know, we want to create another layer with the same values and the same texture. So we go ahead and do just that. V to move it around, and drag it above this you know, the middle part of our mesh. So with that done, we change the opacity to 100%. That one we change as well to 100%, and that's basically that's the texture we will use in our model. So let me go ahead and save that. I know my Photoshop is in Polish. I know it's a shame, guys. Don't scream on me. I mean, what can you do? What can you do? We're gonna name it wood. So I know what you guys think. Sorry. We're gonna name it chair bottom UVs wood. Save. We saved it as PNG, so it should ask about, you know, the interlace and whatever the options are. Yeah, let's hit that. Whatever. interlaced, whatever guys, but we saved that as a PNG file. That's all that matters. And while it saves, I don't know why it saves it so long, but okay, we saved it. We hit X. We want to exit the program. Bye bye. Okay, so now we have these UVs untouched. We have this one with the textures on it already, and we wanna check if it works. So let's go ahead and let's go to Blender. Let me sit on my chair once again, and for the last time. Okay, so we have these UVs selected. We go out of the edit mode. We hit with material. So we don't have a middle rail on, and seed lattice is unnecessary. So we'll leave it like that. Okay, so with our mesh selected, we go to Materials tab, New. In the color section, and guys, you might notice, you have to notice that I have a cycles render turned on. So that's important when you apply those textures. Also, you wanna have material tab option on, so you see how does the material look like. And we go ahead here, instead of a color we set image texture, and we open our image, which is bottom wood. Ta-da! Look at that, guys. It looks freaking awesome. So okay, without further explaining, you know how to texture this part the same way we did this one. If you want to see it rendered, actually right now I'm doing my all of my tutorials on my laptop, so you know, two screens, one being constantly recorded. You know, my render time is going to be off the charts, so you guys, you may laugh about it. I don't care. As soon as I will get money to buy me some good working station, I will continue to do my tutorials and explain stuff to you on this poor little laptop, which is just horrendous, but whatever. Okay, we have this one selected. We go to perspective view, so it looks good. I switched to the smaller window because in this one the render would take longer time. So in this one we hit render, and you will see that there is not much light going onto it, because we don't have any lights on our scene. But we might want to put some lights, so you know what I'm talking about. Let's say we want an area light, and we want to drag it like that, drag it on the y-axis, and you can kind of see what we are dealing here right now, right guys? Doesn't it look good? Doesn't it look perfect? It does. So yeah guys, with that selected, with that set, we want to apply textures to this piece, and after that I will show you how to, in the next tutorial I will show you how to, because this one is taking too long, way too long, and I will show you how to create a paint for this, for the rails, for the metal pieces of this chair. Also, we will apply some paint to the legs. We don't have any leg caps, so if you don't mind reminding me of it in the comment section below, because I will forget it for sure. Okay, guys, with that done, I think it's I should cut the tutorial, because it's already 44 minutes and 30 seconds and counting up. So okay, I think it looks good. I think you like it. I think I like it. I like it a lot. Do you like it, Tom? Yes, I do. Okay, I'm talking to myself right now, so whatever. We have this one created. We've created a texture to it. So with that texture, we want to go ahead right now and just select this and go to edit mode. Yes, and with those faces selected, and the material selected, we want to hit assign. So the material is assigned to the mesh. it's important. Why it's important? Because when exporting to JSON format, we might we might stumble upon some problems when dealing with textures, because if you do not assign the material to the mesh, it's harder to assign it later on. So we want to assign each and every one material, if possible and is possible, to the meshes, to the model, to the whole, to all of our work. And then with that materials applied to our meshes, we want to then export them to the JSON format, and handle it along in viewport of a web browser. But that's in the next tutorial. Thank you for listening to this one. Again, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, thumbs down. And I'm gonna cry, and all my cats gonna cry. I don't have any, but all my cats gonna cry. I love cats, but I don't have any. I'm gonna get some, whatever. But if you like this video, hit subscribe button for future videos. I think you will like it. I thought I will make some videos while on weed, so that's gonna be funny. I don't know if the next one isn't going to be on weed, because I'm planning to do these tutorials as fast as I can. And oftentimes you might find me when entering my room, high on weed. When I'm on weed, I get a lot of inspiration. I kind of work more effectively when I'm on weed. That's the strange statement. That's the strangest statement you've ever heard from all of your tutorial dudes on the YouTube, on the internet. But that's who I am. That's what I do. That's how I like it to do. That's how I like to do it. So anyways, guys, see you in the next tutorial. Hopefully it will come soon. So till next time, see you around. It was Tom from Nuke Web Tips. Bye bye.